All right, guys. Good morning. Welcome back for another grave tour, famous grave tour. We are today at the beautiful Forest Lawn Memorial Park in the Hollywood Hills. We're not in the Glendale area. We are across from Walt Disney Studios, and we are here to pay our final respect to Mr. Paul Walker. I have to say, Fast and Furious movies are one of my all-time favorite franchises. I don't care what anyone says; they are amazing films. All of them, even going up to the what is it? We're on number like 35 right now. We're on, I think. But anyways, it is a fantastic movie franchise, and I think it's grossed like $5 billion like to date. So isn't that just crazy? Like it's been that successful. And yeah, so we're over here and we're looking for Mr. Paul Walker, and I think I'm in the complete wrong spot. But yeah, I mean, we know him best from those movies, and he actually did pass away in a car accident tragically. He was at a fundraising event for his charity, and one of his buddies had just got like a new Porsche, and he was like, "Hey, come check it out, let's go for a ride." So after Mr. Walker was done doing some stuff for the charity thing, the event, he said, "Yeah, let's go." So he actually told the people, "Hey, I'll be back in 5 minutes." And then they were supposed to just go around the block and come back, and they never made it back. His buddy like crashed into like a pole, a light pole, like at 100 miles an hour or something like that. And the car burst into flames, and people seen it, but they were unable to get in there and get him out. That's how fast the car like ignited. So yeah, I'm sorry, I'm looking for his grave as I'm talking and walking, but very tragic and just so sad because he was so young. I think he was my age, and God, it's just, he didn't, another person gone way too soon. And God, I love those movies. I really do. So we're here to pay respects to Mr. Paul Walker, and I think I'm close. If you do want to come here, they are very nice. I'm at the South Garden area right now, and it's beautiful. There's that big mosaic up there, which I want to go check out later. And he is over here in this garden somewhere, and I want to see where he's at. But later on today, we're going to go up to Santa Clarita, and we're going to actually locate the site of the crash, where it happened. And yeah, so that's going to be very, very touching and moving for me, to be honest with you. So I'm kind of not prepared for that, but we're going to go do that and find where that all happened later. So, oh, here it is. There's a beautiful statue right here. And God, I mean, almost as far south as you can get. I mean, there is more development up at the top of that hill. But here it is, Mr. Paul Walker right here. And it simply says Walker. No dates, no anything, just says Walker. This is a beautiful place. Beautiful garden over here, and people have left flowers. A bunch of roses spread out right here. Somebody has left a very cool Hot Wheel right there. And there's a reindeer, obviously from Christmas. And look at that, Mr. Paul Walker. Isn't that gorgeous? There's a little teddy bear. Oh, there's another Hot Wheel in the car right here. I mean, in the bush, a little Hot Wheel in the car. That makes no sense. Somebody left a chain. God, looks like the one Dom wore in the movie, huh? Very cool. I wonder if that is. That'd be crazy, right? Well, here we go, Mr. Paul Walker. God, this is touching right here. I gotta tell you that been to a couple graves today, and this one just made my heart kind of just skip. So sad. All right, guys, let's make the trek back north, and let's go locate the spot where Mr. Walker passed away. Okay, so we are now at the site where Roger Rodas and Paul Walker would have crashed that 2005 GT Porsche Carrera on November 30th, 2013. Now, the place where they're coming from is over here, and that is where Paul Walker's car place was, their garage, so to speak, was around there. So it is a big road. It is 45 miles an hour. It is 5 lanes, but you see it's windy, right? So we're actually going to take a different direction on what other people have done with these videos, and we're going to walk up the street just a little bit so you can see. Now, it's very windy out here right now, so I apologize if there's any wind in the background. But coming around this corner, you can see how sharp it is. This is a very, very sharp turn right here. And this is where they kind of would have started to lose control, I would assume. you know, because they were going 90 to 100 miles an hour in a 45, and this is uphill. All right, I'm walking uphill right now, and it is a very strong turn where they would have lost control right over here. Okay, we are still walking up now, and you see this is a very sharp turn. You know, 45-mile speed limit. There's a truck taking it probably about 40 miles an hour, and you can see that car was leaning in. That truck was leaning sideways. So you can imagine going 90 miles an hour, and they accelerate quickly. I mean, they came out of, it's basically an S, because as you come here, the crash site's right up here. But as you come down from where they were, it's going to turn that way, and then right around here, it's going to turn that way. So it's an S coming up this. So it is not a very easy straight drive. This is a very, very curvy street right here where the accident happened. And we're almost there, and I'm trying to block the wind, guys. I hope it's okay. So, okay, now right here where Kelly Johnson Parkway becomes Hercules Street and vice versa is where everything would have happened. Right here in front of that Hypercell building. Hypercell, it's a wireless company, and you can see people have come and done burnouts and donuts all right here in the spot where it happened, because that light pole is the first point of impact for the crash. And I'm trying to block the wind. It's so windy out here, guys. Trying to block the wind for you, but it would have happened right here. And you can see as they come around that corner, they would have completely lost control. And Roger Rodas would have tried to gain control as he spun the car out and crashed right into that lamppost right there, being the first point of impact. Okay, now this is an active business park, but I want to point out right there in that corner, right about there, there's a security camera. And I'm going to get out of the street really fast because, like I said, it is a Wednesday and it is an active business park. But that is where the primary security camera footage came from that you saw all over the news the day it happened. And those hedges do block the crash itself, but what you do see is you see this Hypercell building right there, and you see a light pole fall down, you see a tree fall down, and then you see smoke, right? You see light glimpses of smoke coming up for about 60 seconds. And then the smoke starts to get bigger and bigger. And from the autopsy reports, everything that you see in there states that Paul Walker and Roger Rodas both had smoke in their lungs. So can you imagine 60 seconds after a crash in a sports car that has now been wrapped around a light pole and a tree, and you're unable to get out? We do not know if they were, I mean, we know they were conscious because they were breathing, because there was smoke in their lungs upon autopsy. But 60 seconds, guys. It doesn't seem like a lot, but could you imagine sitting there trapped in a fire? No way to get out. You know, and there's video of people that were driving by and they wanted to help, but they were just so scared that the car was going to explode because it was in flames that, you know, they couldn't help. And, you know, at that point, they didn't know who was in there. They realized later who was in there because people from the charity, and we're going to go over there next, down this way, they heard the crash. You know, they heard the crash. They, you know, the charity event was over. Paul Walker was going to go out for a little joyride with his buddy in the Porsche, and, you know, 2 minutes later, a minute later, they heard the crash and they knew what happened. But by the time they got here, it was too late. The car was already engulfed in flames and there was no way to get them out. So there was, God, so sad. So sad and so hard. But we're going to walk across the street now. So let's go across the street and let's check out everything a little bit closer. Here's a closer look at all these burnouts and donuts right here. People pay respect right here by doing that. And the sad thing is, the city here, unfortunately, God, they paint this pole. So this is the pole. This is a brand new pole, and they paint it. Because you could tell up to there, there's a line where they stopped painting it, and it's just cement. But this is the pole that had to get replaced. And people do come. People were able to get here and, you know, write their name in the cement and things of that sort. And people do bring a Sharpie out and try to pay the respects the best they can. But it's sad that the city is too worried about beauty, and so they paint over any kind of writings that come here where people want to pay the respect. So that part sucks, you know. I don't know why they just can't let fans pay their, you know, I don't know, whatever. That's a whole different topic. But come over to this tree too. Look at this tree right here. This tree has all kinds of stuff. Now they're weathered and stormed. You can see there's a RIP there. And then you got a big R right here you can make out. Somebody has a sunflower here and a sticker. There's a car up in the tree right there, you can see. Just all around this tree, people have engraved it now. You know, it's sunny and windy here, very windy here. But here we go, there's some, you know, rest in peace, Paul. All kinds of love that people come out here and give to Mr. Paul Walker. So that is very, very cool. So, first impact was right here. Unfortunately, this pole, you see this pole go down, very first thing. Like I said, there is that building with the camera right around there. And those hedges get in the way of the actual car, so you can't see it, but that security camera does catch the crash and the smoke. And as you come over here, there's a tree stump. And this tree stump was the second point of impact. And people have, you know, written things here. People have stuck little cars in here and found a way to do stuff with, like, I don't know if that's hot glue or what that is, but this tree goes down second. So the pole goes down, then the tree goes down, and then the smoke you start to see. It's pretty scary. I mean, God, 100 miles an hour. There's a rest in peace Paul right here. But yeah, so first, second, and then the car would have came to rest about 50 feet away from there, because it impacted, spun, and it stopped right around here. You can see it in the video, in the cell phone video. It's very grainy and it's very all over the place, but right around here, so you can see this back wall there and the Hypercell building in the background. This is where the car would have came to rest. It's so sad. It's so heartbreaking. It really is. I am a huge fan of those movies. Huge fan. And it just got it. Just, oh man, so sad. People have also written on these little covers as well, little electric covers. So that's pretty cool. But you primarily have this little tree stump right here. A little tree stump and the light pole that people, you know, leave their notes at and their memories and their respects. So, but yeah, this is it. This is where Paul Walker and Roger Rodas would have crashed that 2005 Porsche Carrera GT. You know, and those cars, you know, they're fast, they're nimble, but they're not easy to handle, you know. And so for driving 100 miles on a turn like that, I mean, I don't know. I don't even know that a NASCAR driver can handle that, because it is a very sharp turn. You could see, like I said, it was an S that they were coming up, and when they came down here, they just lost it. And you could see he was probably fishtailing, spinning until he got to here, and that light pole unfortunately stopped the car, and God, it was destruction. I'm gonna play a couple clips right here. I'll play a little clip from the news video, and I'll play maybe a clip, if I can get a hold of it, from the cell phone camera. But let me go ahead and let me play a couple clips for you right now.
Latest on Paul Walker's fatal crash. New surveillance video revealed overnight, and Walker's Fast and Furious co-star Vin Diesel going to the scene of the fatal crash to remember his good friend. ABC's Cecilia Vega has the story.
Overnight, Paul Walker's co-star from those Fast and Furious blockbusters paid a sorrowful tribute to him, showing up at the crash scene.
If my brother were here right now and he saw all the love that you were bringing him.
A new look at the final seconds of that life cut short. You can see there in the right corner of this surveillance video a glimpse of a speeding car. Then this, an explosion followed by billowing smoke. Within seconds, people are racing in to rescue Walker and the driver, his friend Roger Rodas. See the unbelievable explosion one more time. One of Walker's childhood friends reportedly attempted to pull his body from the burning car. Police had to hold him back. But it was too late. Both men were pronounced dead at the scene.
All right, guys, and that's it. This is the spot. This is the crash site for Paul Walker. So sad and so heartbreaking. I want to go up to that building and show you that vantage point, but it's private property. They do have trespassing signs. It is a weekday. There are people there, so I'm going to go ahead and skip that part because I'm very much about following all the rules all the time, unfortunately. All right, guys. Well, thank you for coming along with me on this, famous grave tour for Mr. Paul Walker. Rest in peace. So sad, so heartbreaking and touching. And I don't know what to say, guys. It's always hard. So, okay, you know what? I lied to you. I'm not gonna finish the video there. I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna go down the street to actually Paul Walker's charity building where the car garage is at, and then I'll see if I can get on there. It is private property and it is business hours, and I know there's gonna be people there because look at this parking lot of this business, right? So if I can get close to where like the final shots were taken of where the Porsche is at, I will. If not, then I'll at least take you on the drive from that building to the crash site so you can see how windy that road is. And I'll try to do it at 45, which is the speed limit. Actually, the speed limit's 40 now since that crash. But so you can see how windy it is and how going 100 miles an hour would have been extremely dangerous. Okay, we're gonna do this really quick. We're gonna do a little drive-by because it is active business and there are people actually in there. But this loading bay right here, and in that bottom corner, that's where you would have seen the Porsche that they would have left in. It was parked right there below that loading dock bay. That's right there. And the business, I believe, is this entire thing. 309 and 28307 on the right. And if you see those little tourney wheel things, the things for the fire, I guess they're fire hydrant access right there. That's where Paul Walker's last picture would have been. He was posing with somebody, I'm not sure who it is, but he's posing right in front of those two things, right in front of the building. They would have left the building, gotten the Porsche, and then they would have exited this way. And like I said, you know, the charity event had ended, and he basically told them, hey guys, we'll be back in 5 minutes, we're going for a little ride. They would have pulled out of here with the Porsche, and this is the route they would have gone. And I'm gonna try to do this at the speed limit, as opposed to 100 miles an hour. I'm not gonna do that. So they would have came over here. Here's the exit. So I'm gonna put my seatbelt back on and maybe make sure there's no cars coming so I can do this as safely as possible. It looks like we're good. So they would have turned here. And like I said, this is not a straight street. This is a very windy road. But this is the route that they would have gone on in the Porsche. And I'm going 40 miles an hour already, and I could feel my car shifting already left. It is leaning. They would have hit this side with this stop sign, and it would have been a weekend, so there wouldn't have been a lot of cars here. That's the good thing. There wasn't a lot of cars on this street. It is an industrial area, so, you know, it would have been quiet, no cars. There is a school here, 25 miles an hour. You see the sign right there, 25 miles an hour, school limit, or school speed, right? And this is a school right here, this gray building on the right. So as they come up, I'm gonna speed up now, and I'm gonna go get up to 45. All right, I'm at 45 right now. And my car is shifting, oh my God. I'm at 50 now, holy crap. All right, I'm going back to 45. I'm at 45 right now, and my car is leaning. And they would have lost control right around here, going 100 miles an hour. And they would have been fishtailing, and you can see how fast they would have hit that pole right there, boom. That's it. So I was going 45 there, and you saw how much my car was leaning and how sharp that turn is. I can't imagine going 90 miles an hour there. That would have been crazy. And you saw once I turned that corner, you saw how fast 40. It seems like it's far away from that turn, but when you're going 45, it really wasn't that far away. That pole right where I said boom, that's where they would have impacted. And my gosh, I couldn't imagine going 90. Like, I could see how he could lose control easily, start fishtailing, and try to recover, right? And if you can't recover from fishtailing by turning into your turn, if you're a rookie driver and you don't know that you need to basically turn into it to kind of correct yourself, he lost it. He lost control. Dang, that was a trip. That was a trip. 45 felt like it was too fast for that turn, to be honest. I'm in an SUV, so it's not a sports car where I'm low to the ground, and I was leaning, you know, to the side, but I could see how twice the speed, 90 miles an hour, would be tragic. So, all right, guys, now we'll end the video there. Thanks for joining me, guys. Very tragic, sad story. Paul Walker, God, I love the movies. I absolutely love the movies, so very sad. All right, guys, thanks again for the journey, coming with me on this adventure, and we will see you on the next video.